lovely people, Kitten here. This is my last uploaded video of the year. We're going to be winding up 2024. My goodness, that's been a year and a half, I can tell you. Just had no idea how that was going to turn out. Did not finish how I was going to start, and nothing can... So we're going to wind up that. I'm going to put some thoughts into that, and I've done my layout spreads for start of next year. So towards end of December, beginning of January is when I'll sit down and fill in the boxes, have a think, make notes, get my head where it needs to be, sort out, see if I can work out what I'm doing, where I'm going, just so I know where I am really. I've been really poorly this past 3 weeks, 4 weeks, I don't know why. This damp weather's not helping, but I am finding that this system is really, really good for me. I go over the top because I'm arty. I mean, let's be honest, it's decorating a page, it's all the pretty, there's amazing art stuff, stickers and papers and washi tape. Never had any of that when I was learning all my stuff. That's me, that's what I love, and it makes me use my journal. If that's not you, don't do it. Do something else. Just use plain black. You can put a bit of colour in if you want colour for headings and things like that. Highlighters, whatever. Plain notebooks. But it's really, I only started it this time last year. And I can honestly say, with all the other things that I've been working on through the year, considering what we've had going on this year, I am in a much better headspace than I was last year. I am medication free. It's a challenge, it's been a long haul, and I put a lot of that down to the work I've done on myself, and this is part of it. This is part of the learning curve. So I'm going to show you how I've laid things out. If you fancy a bash, you're more than welcome to copy me. There's loads of other Boudio inspiration out there. If you want to ask anything, leave me a comment. I'll try and get to it. I am slow, I'm sorry. Sometimes it takes me a while to get to it. But I highly, highly say, have a go. Have a go. It takes a little while to get into the groove. You know, do you know it doesn't matter. The month goes to pot and you fall apart, you don't do it, and then you start fresh again the next month. That's what I like. I can manage it for about 3 weeks of the month now, and the last week goes to pot and I'm all over the place, but I'm getting better. So let me show you my layout. Any comments, if you want to join in, just let me know, and here's to a nice year next year. Any good planning system starts with a review. So we've come through to the end of December. I'm going to do a December review, and I'm going to look back on the whole of this past year. Just checking in, seeing how things went, seeing how I feel about things, reviewing, seeing what I can take forward to next year. I'm not doing a huge in-depth analysis. Last year was so crazy, so just off the scale mad. So we'll do that. This is my plan for 2025. Let's have a look. Let's go personal stuff, I like to start with a good title, a good header, brings you in. I've chosen my word of the year, but I haven't sat and thought about it, what it means. I've got the definition, but I'm going to sit and work out how it's going to bring it into me. I'm going to think about my priorities. You'll have heard me say before, we don't have goals as such. If you follow Miss Trenchcoat, you'll find her link in the description. We have priorities. Your number one priority is always you. If you want to lose weight, or you want to run a marathon, or you want to do whatever, the priority is you, and your goals, your systems come into that. If you have one goal, it doesn't encompass your whole life and all the variables. But if you look at a whole chunk of your life, it's much easier to build in little extras. If you want to lose weight, I mean, you're going to look at diet and exercise. You're going to set yourself targets and things, but you're also going to be looking at nutrition and water, all kinds of little things, building in. It's living the life, it's tweaking your lifestyle, it's changing things. So I have an overview of it, and then I break down to things I want to work on in that section. I want to do some online art courses this year. There's a couple of artist subscriptions that I want to join in with. The kitchen is the project of the year. I'm going to have to think how we're going to do that, how we're going to manage that. The title is Eddie. Possibly, if everything goes well, we can grow the pack a little. I'd like to have another dog, but that's that. Work, where we're going with work, what we're doing, what we're thinking about it. Because my work is so different now, my whole life is so totally different, I want to go back and rethink about what I want to do, how I want to do. This keeps going out. What am I doing? It's wrong. Stop waving your hands about. Yeah, I mean, I have learned a huge amount, but I need to think about what we're doing. Rough for my socials. Now and then I haven't put my lists in. I'll have to copy it forward from last year. It's just, what were you drinking? What were you watching? Favourite things? Happy memory? Bad memory? Just compare and contrast. I include things, silly things like inflation rate, what my bank savings were, all sorts of weird and wonderful, anything you fancy. The long list, everything I want to get done. I'm going to put the kitchen stuff here because I'm going to be working on the kitchen all year. So there's a lot of big items that I'm going to have to save up for. There's a lot of things from last year's list that are going to carry through. There's a lot of things on the long list that I'm not actually going to do, but it's an aspiration and I want to keep them on the list. It's just a useful resource to see where you are and what you've got going on. Monthly themes I could fill in January because I've done January. We'll get there. Daily weather. I love my daily weather. Oh, I must put my stickers down the side for the dates. Do that. Future planner. This is so that you can, I'm counting on this lasting 6 months, and then I shall get another one for the end of the year. But if you've got stuff coming up here when you're only here, you need somewhere to write it down. So future planner, future log, year overview, something like that. The dogs, I want to keep track of when they've had a bath, when they have their injections, when they have their frontline. That's a breakdown of cleaning for the flat. Trigger list is for my brain dump session, and we go into Q1. Q1, quarter one, January, February, March. I need to write that there so I know, don't I? And then Oh, that's oops-a-daisies, that's stuck together. Q1 overview. I like this. I like the way it's laid out. You've got the 3 months plus a little bit extra, and it's like the future planner, but in more detail. When you come to it, you pull from your future log, but as you go along, you add in here. My reset week. I'm looking forward to that first week in January. I'm going to have the first Christmas January. I'm going to take off. I need a break. I need to do these things. Ideas and projects, just to bring it out. My 3 months, these are all the tasks I do in a month. This is everything that goes into writing the knitting pattern, videoing the knitting pattern, the blanket square, all that kind of things. All stuff that I like to do every month, put money on the gas and electric. I must see if they'll change that. You know, clean the windows, what have you. This is new. A list of things I want going out live, what we need to be doing. Actually, I wonder what happened. I had a year overview of all my projects that I had to do. Seem to have lost that. I'll have to look for that because that's important. Breaking down what we're doing. I should have left this page. I should have left this blank and started here. I didn't. That was a mistake. It's not a big deal. One thing I love about bullet journings, sitting doing all this stuff, is that you can try it and then you can do something completely different. I should show you the new layouts. I kept the sentence a day. I love that. I've dropped the quote because I've gone to a double page layout of the month overview. I was struggling because I lead 2 separate lives. I'm here and then I have to be away. Where is it? Where I used to do it in a long list here, I couldn't see where the weeks were. I couldn't add more than one little thing to the line. But if I expand it, take it over 2 pages. Unfortunately, the first one that I have to do is a 5 week, so the little boxes are less. But I can write all the projects that have to go out, and then I can go back and add what I've done on certain days. I want to really look at my time. I don't know if you can tell, but the weather's really bad. I've had a small flare-up. I'm very breathless. I need to have a real serious think about how I'm using my time, what I'm doing. This is why I'm doing all the organisation while I'm getting the flat sorted out so that it's easy to maintain. Putting the aids in now while I've got the space and the freedom to do it, so that later on it's not a panic. I've already got something in place to do it. My brain dump, all the things, just everything. I want to get more, as I've got my triggers list. I want to be more inclusive of it and include sentences of what I'm feeling, things that I want to think about in the future. That's going to be more useful. Note page, see, note page, I need a note page. I've kept my socials, that's when everything is scheduled. I can mark off what I've done. Another change is how I've laid out the work that's going out this month. I've included shorts. It's a bit different. I mean, we'll just have to see. They're a bit of a faff to make. I can't find an easy way to do it. I've got to have a mobile phone this year, which is unfortunate. I really have got to have a mobile phone. Perhaps it'll be easier on that. I don't know. But that's another new layout. This is another new layout. I've tried several for my habits, and what was the last? Again, where's my habits? It was a list. I called it a health check. It was a list, and I found it was too solid. I can't see. I'm finding I'm a very visual person. It needs to be little breakdowns, little chunks that I can see. Each habit or task or what have you now has its own little box. I might fill the numbers out, I probably won't, it doesn't matter. But you can colour it in and you can see more. And then I thought, well, let's see how we do at the end of the month. If I think I'm going to get a tick in a box and I'm going to get a higher score, perhaps it'll make me drink my little cup of water in the afternoon. I don't know. My ideal week. I love my ideal week. I'm keeping my big long task list. Now this might seem crazy to you, but honestly it is an absolute godsend. I potter through the morning and then I sit down and I look at my task list and I find things on here I haven't done. So I go back and I can do them and I can keep up with things. It also helps with the just one thing system of getting things done. I'll do a thing on the one thing because that's a really, really good one. My priorities and my manifesting. I want to do something with the weather. I want to do something silly just to do it. And then we go into the weeks. I've made this slightly bigger. I haven't finished that. So when we get to the end of January, I'll have a think and see how I did with this. I'm cross with myself that I didn't leave that blank so that I have notes. I got enough. I just went straight in and kept going. And I should have left a blank page, but you learn. You learn these things. When I get to the end, oh, I don't know what that is. When I get to the end, I'll have my January review. I don't think it's as important after the month, but then if I want to do a sentence a day, see, that's where I made the mistake. That was it. I wanted to do a full page. I wanted to do that calendar. I wanted to do that. That needs to come after that. No, we're in the wrong place. The month overview has to come after that. But then I wanted to put my sentence a day in. And instead of thinking I can put that here or somewhere, I wanted these to be working pages. I don't know. Come the end of January, we'll rethink it. It's not quite as critical between months, but I want a gap. Perhaps if I leave a double spread, but then that's 2 pages, and then go. We'll have to see. As I say, that is the beauty of these books. And you don't have to do all this fancy. I'm using up all my stuff. I'm not going to be a hoarder. I'm not going to have boxes of stuff. I'm going to use it. I'm not buying any more washi till I've used it. I finished up this. This was beautiful. This brown booky stuff was absolutely gorgeous. That's all gone. I've used that up. Fabulous. I've got one more spread. I might use the last of it in my reading journal. That I use the goldfish up. And then I've got other bits and pieces. I want to get through a couple more rolls. I finished all the white flowers on something. So this is how we are tackling. What have I got in the back there? Oh, just theme. Oh, no, that's not. That's just video stuff that's got in the wrong place. So I'm hoping that this book, it's big, this book, it's quite a chunky monster. I'm hoping that that'll see me through 6 months and I'll have 2 a year rather than what I had last year, because I had in 2 separate books. I had personal and business and I've combined them. Everything is in one place. So that's our layout. That's how we're starting the year. I'll check back in through you as we go. If you want to have a go, just go and get a notebook from the works. You don't have to do all this fancy stuff. I'm going to put little tabs down the side so I can find pages easily. That's an easy thing to do. Yeah, it's doing my head so much good. Honestly, it really is. I'm in so much better place in my head than I was 6-8 months ago. So fabulous. And we'll see you next year.